Hi everyone, so I'm here at one of the most haunted locations that you can read about here in Utah. It's been in like the top 5. This is the old Shiloh Inn in Salt Lake City that was made famous here by a tragedy that happened in 1978. The hotel has been remodeled and gone through a lot of changes over the years, but it still has a very haunted presence that you can feel. One of the weird things about this hotel is behind me you can see there's just mirrors all over on every floor and everywhere throughout the hotel. And as some people know, mirrors are supposed to be a portal to the other side, and so it's very strange to go on every floor and just see mirrors everywhere. But this is the haunted floor. This hotel has a 13th floor, and as many people know, hotels are very superstitious, and a lot of times they don't even have the 13th floor marked, and this hotel is the same. There's no combinations of 13 at all for fear of bad luck or superstition and everything. But this floor has been left pretty much the same as it was but before the hotel was remodeled. And so let's go up here and take a look, guys. I'll show you here. Everything's still the way it was here. Look at the old staircase here. I mean, this thing is creepy. It's got gold on either side. And let's walk up the stairs here. So we get up here, and I mean, this thing's just got energy like you can't believe. I mean, it'll drain your phone and it'll do all sorts of stuff. Here we are here on the 13th floor. So we go in here. This is kind of a maintenance office area that they've converted, in here, there's just a bunch of old piping and a bunch of, storage stuff. In here is the boiler room, kind of reminiscent of the old Shining movie. Here we go. So look at this old boiler in here. This has been in here a while. Let's go over here. So I've been in this room in here before, and I've heard sounds, and I've tried to find out what it was, and I never did really find out what it was, but I've heard like something like creeping around in here when I first came up here, and so this kind of got a haunted presence here in this boiler room. Over here, this is just like a barred window to the outside here. And so, while we're in here, let's talk about the story a little bit. There was this man named Emmanuel David who was a member of the LDS Church for a while, and he started to get very far out and started to believe that he was a Messiah of some sorts. And so he had a bunch of followers that, treated him like he was like a cult leader or something. And anyway, he ended up getting in trouble with the law, with the FBI. You know, they were after him for like fraud and stuff. And so he came to Utah, and he ended up committing suicide up in Immigration Canyon. And so his wife was staying here at the hotel, and when she found out about his death, you know, she was so distraught, and then she started to become crazy like him and believe that she needed to, her and all of her family needed to die, you know, to be reunited with Emmanuel David again. And so she ended up one night, this like 2 days after he'd killed himself, she ended up committing suicide and either throwing or convincing all of her 7 children to jump off of the top of the hotel down to their deaths. And one of the children survived, and I've heard that the surviving child even stays here from time to time. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I've heard that. And I've also heard that rumors that Danny Elfman, the musician from Oingo Boingo, and he's made all sorts of soundtracks and things, stays here at the hotel. And the hit song by Oingo Boingo, Dead Man's Party, was supposedly inspired by this hotel and written while Danny Elfman was staying here, and he was just barely in Salt Lake. And I didn't see him here, but there's rumor that this is one of his favorite places to stay just because of how haunted it is. And so let's have some fun, guys, and let's continue the haunted tour. And, you know, let's find some ghosts, and if we see a ghost, I've got the Ghostbuster tool here. So, sorry if I gave you a scare, I just had to do that, but let's keep on going through here. I just heard a noise. I just heard something in here. Yeah, I just was walking around the corner and I heard something, and so there's nobody up here and nobody has access to this, so it's kind of creepy. Let's walk through here again. Let's go out here, guys. So this is the roof access right here, and let's see if I can get this door open. I just heard something again from the boiler room right after I come out of there, like something falling and stuff, so here on the rooftop, we're looking for ghosts and spirits and anything that we can see up here. It's got kind of a weird energy even on the roof. Pretty scary, guys. You know, this place is very creepy. I'll kind of give you the view out here. You can really see a lot. But I even hate getting very even close to this edge, you know, just because this is so far up. But this is very creepy here. See how close I get to the edge. I don't want to drop my phone or anything up here, but yeah, it's even on the rooftop out here, it's just got the weirdest vibe to it. And the roof is all spongy walking on it, you know, it's almost like it's gonna giveaway or something. So that's why I don't really like to get very close to the edge, but there's another view that you can see out here. It's a long ways down up here. It's not the tallest building around, but it is very tall, and there used to be a glass elevator. This building used to be all lit up like Vegas, you know, it had neon lights and everything, and I remember seeing this elevator as a kid when I stayed across the street here at this Hilton. It was a DoubleTree then, and this elevator was completely glass, and it was very cool. You could see people going up in it all night and stuff, and that was one of the things that they took out when they remodeled the hotel, which is too bad because it was really cool, and nowhere else really has anything like that. But anyways, guys, here's the rooftop. You can see the Walker Center over there has a haunted history as well, and maybe I'll make a video about that too. But you got a heck of a view of the downtown area here. You can see everything, and that's what was nice about that elevator. Guests could come and look out and see, you know, everything up here. And there's the Hilton where I stayed as a kid, and I remember hearing the story about Emmanuel David from my parents when I was staying there, and it just gave me the creeps as a kid, really bad, you know, about what had happened there. And they had, there were even newspaper accounts and stuff that I read about, that people were down on the streets and suddenly heard screams and saw people splatting and stuff. So it's really gruesome, and I think that's why it's so haunted, and there's so much energy here, is because of how horrible what happened here is. Let's go back in here. Oh. Yeah, I'm not afraid of heights, but for some reason this rooftop just gives me the creeps about it. I think maybe it's just because the floor feels so spongy and stuff. You know, you never know when you're gonna fall through it or something. So let's continue the tour on up here. And I'm still trying to figure out what that was that I heard down in the boiler room. But we come up here, we've got this golden staircase and a handrail that's kind of creepy here. Let's get the keys out. Trying to get in this room. This is the 14th floor up here. And like I said, nobody goes up here, but it's still on my list of places to check each night. Why that is,